fights to make next after UFC 313. We're going to do a little bit of a recap too, so we're just going to go over the main card sort of things. I can't do the entire card because then I'd have to go for like the entire Tapology rankings for every single division, and I would be lying if I said I haven't already recorded the video and forgot to hit the unmute button again. But hey ho, we'll get into it anyway. Right, main event. Alex Pereira had the biggest stinker in his entire career. I predicted this fight perfectly, by the way, just saying that much, and I'm glad I have. But like, Pereira clearly did not perform. Obviously, we need the immediate rematch. Pereira's a defending champion. He's not like an O'Malley. He's not like any of these other people who defend the belt once and somehow managed to get an immediate rematch. Pereira's defending the belt 3 times in the space of like a year. Not even that. I think even less. I think 10 months. He clearly deserves a rematch. And this was probably the worst performance in his entire career. He just backed up and just let Ankalaev do whatever he wanted. And it was a really close fight. This is what no one's mentioning. I'm seeing domination all over like Twitter and Instagram. And I'm just sat here just like, no, it's not. It wasn't a domination. It was so close. It came down to the 3rd round, I believe. Like, if you scored it, like... So, first round was clearly Pereira's. Second round was clearly Ankalaev and rocked him. Which I also predicted he could rock him. I didn't say he would rock him, but I said he could. The 3rd round was literally a swing. The 4th round, Ankalaev, just held him against the cage. We need to do something about that. These Dagestanis are going to actually kill the sport dead. Because this is what they do. They're winning a fight on the scorecards, or they have a slightly close round and they're like, well, shit, I need to do something. Go for a takedown, hold them on the cage for fucking entire round. That round is also a very close round, like the 3rd, but you'd probably have to give it to Ankalaev, purely off the knees of the leg, and Pereira landed like 1 jab in that entire round. And then the 5th round was Pereira's again, but it's like he wasn't even like putting any like pop on any of the punches. It was like he just backed up and just was like, well, his leg will give up eventually. His leg will give up eventually, and it just never did. His leg was fucked, but like Joe Rogan on commentary, we need to get rid of him on commentary. He literally just yaps. Like he was going, oh, his leg's already fucked. And it's just like, it's not fucked at all. He's literally walking forward. He's not like he's doing the fucking stanky leg. He's just walking forward. But yeah, I think they need to do the immediate rematch. They'll probably do it in Abu Dhabi. Maybe you can have like a Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev on the undercards as a co-main event. Because then if du Plessis wins and Pereira wins, then you can make that fight. But then if Khamzat wins and Ankalaev wins, then the entire sport is dead. And we don't deserve good fights no more, I guess. I guess that's the case. But even there, if Pereira wins the second one, I guess you could do Khamzat and Pereira. Yeah. And also, just another thing. The striker who's been kickboxing since he was 10. Since birth. Actually, no, it isn't since birth. He did it when he got to the favelas. So, no, the striker, anyway, the kickboxing world champion, is the only person to get an actual takedown in this fight. What is MMA? What is MMA? But anyway, we'll move on to the co-main event winner in Justin Gaethje, and I think he should be fighting Dustin Poirier in a trilogy. I swear Dustin Poirier has the most trilogies ever. Also, Gaethje had a really close fight with Fiziev. I don't want to see the Hooker fight no more. Hooker, you've lost the opportunity. We'll get onto you when we get onto that. Poirier, Gaethje, this is a retirement fight for Poirier. Yeah, I think the fight was really close. I think like it was Fiziev was winning the second round until Gaethje just landed that uppercut out of nowhere and just rocked him, which clearly gave him that round. And then the 3rd round was just really close again, but I think they gave it to Gaethje. If they scored all 3 rounds for Gaethje, they're actually retarded, and they need to have like their license of scoring fights taken off them, because I'm just some fucking idiot on the other side of the other world who knows how to score fights better than these official judges. But yeah, I think this will be a great fight as well. It should be like a 5-rounder co-main event under like a... Under what? What could you do? They'll have to give Gaethje a better time too, because I was gonna say the O'Malley Merab 2 fight, but that's literally the next card. Not the next card. It's literally after Bilal's card, 316. So they'd probably put it on like a. Apparently Jones and Aspinall has been signed, so maybe you could do like a international fight week with 3 5-rounders on the main event. So you could have like a. I don't know. They wouldn't do like an Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria, but just for the sake of it, they could do like Gaethje, Poirier 5-rounder feature fight, and then for like well, they can't do the BMF belt again. Um, fuck. But yeah, they can do that as a five. They can do that as for a 5-rounder. They've done it before, just random 5-rounder, just because they know it'll be a good fight. Then they can do like in Ilia Topuria versus Makhachev at lightweight for the belt. That would be a great fight. They won't do that, and then you can have Tom Aspinall and John Jones fight, and John Jones is getting executed by Tom Aspinall, and I will not see otherwise. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. They will not do Islam and Ilia on the undercard of John Jones and the John Jones Aspinall card. They won't do that. It would be a great idea, but they won't do that. It'll be like 2 separate cards. But anyway, we'll move on to Fiziev, the loser of the co-main event. Well, loser. He made more stock than he lost, and it was a really great fight. And I think he should fight Hooker. He should fight Hooker. Hooker, you've lost your opportunity. You had a really fucking close fight with Jalen Turner, who's now retired. You had a really other close fight with Gamrot. So now you can have a close fight with Fiziev, and I hope Fiziev wins. I'm not angry with Hooker. I don't know. I've never really liked him. I'll be honest. He always has a good scrap, fair enough. But I don't know. I've never really liked him. So you're being executed to body kick TKO via Fiziev, and I think this would be a really great like. What would you call a second main card fight? I don't know what you'd call it. So you have the main card opener, the second fight of the main card, and then you have the feature fight, then the co-main, the main event. This would be a really good second fight on the main card. But yeah, it also could be an Apex card, because they won't close at Apex, even though it's absolutely garbage and just drains the sport of just like good moments. But yeah, I think the Hooker versus Fiziev is the next fight to make. I will not hear otherwise. Yeah, and they'll probably have to give it time because Hooker's literally just broken his hand. But yeah, Fiziev, Hooker, make that. Don't know when. Just fucking chuck it on some fight night or something in like Louisiana or some shit. I don't know. Put it on the Justin Gaethje card, because then they can be like, oh well, these two went to war last time, and then you got the Hooker who almost fought the Gaethje. Yeah, they should do that. But anyway, we'll move on to the next fight, which I honestly cannot remember. I think it was Bamondes. Yeah, Bamondes should fight Grant Dawson. It's easy, simple as that. Grant Dawson, you're super inactive. Get yourself in the cage. Bamondes had a really good win over Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's retired, he's not on here. Jalen Turner's really fucking good, by the way. He's just retarded. He really is just retarded. He pretty much just threw himself into a triangle. The thing is, I do like the guy, but he's just a bit stupid. And like, I don't think he should have retired. He could have been like a really good like Bobby Green of the division, but he said he doesn't want to, so that's fair enough. But he is just a fucking idiot. He really is. Dawson fought in like 311, I think it was, where he just laid on top of an opponent, but he actually showed slightly entertaining for a Grant Dawson, like really entertaining for a Grant Dawson fight. Hang on, let me get my words out. For a Grant Dawson fight, his last fight was like a fucking fireworks and shit, but like average fight, it's just it was a bit shit. Let's be honest, but yeah, it was all right. I wouldn't call it boring. It was just pretty lackluster. And Bamondes is always an exciting fighter. We need to get him in the rankings as soon as humanly possible. What can I say? And I think the next one is Ruffy. Ruffy versus Rebecca would be an amazing fight. And I don't think anyone is saying otherwise. Rebecca is the guy who beat Orobly in the Fight of the Year contender. Tell me this wouldn't be a fucking great fight. I'm seeing people like, oh, he should get the rankings. Like, come on, he beat Bobby Green. Who hasn't beaten Bobby Green? You know, if you're any sort of good at the sport, you will beat Bobby Green and get into the rankings. I know I've just talked about Grant Dawson, but yeah, I don't know how how did he get knocked out by fucking Bobby Green? Come on, I swear he doesn't have a knockout on his record other than him. But you know, Ruffy had an amazing KO over Bobby Green. Like I was like, I literally looked at my phone because I was on call with my mate, and I looked up and I just saw this fucking leg just slide across and smack Bobby in the head, and I was like, what the fuck? Like that was mint. It was a great KO. But this will be a great fight. We've got Rebecca, who is a Polish monster, and then we got the fighting nerd on the left. This will be a great fight, and they'll probably give him a ranked opponent next, but like I would rather see this because it's just so good. It really is. It would be, it's like such a good like prelim headliner of like a John Jones card. But these are the thing as well. Barmondes, you have taken 0 damage. I don't even think Grant Dawson took any damage. Get yourself in the cage. You say you get underpaid, so get in the fucking cage. Well, not them specifically, but like a lot of fighters say they're underpaid and they fight like once a year. No shit, you're underpaid. You fight once a year and you get 10 grand. If you win, you get 20 grand, and you sit out for the rest of the year. Are you a fighter, or are you just fight now and then and when you feel like it? You know, but. Bamondes, you're taking 0 damage. We need you on a card as soon as humanly possible. Exactly like Gene Silver did. Oh, knocked out this Armenian dude. Alright, I'm going to go fight fucking Bryce Mitchell on 314. Straight into another training camp. That's how it should be if you're taking no damage. If you're taking damage, then obviously you need your months off. But Bamondes should be fighting quick. So should Ruffy. I was thinking maybe a Ruffy versus Bamondes, but then I'm just like, you're just going to kill 2 contenders. I know this one's going to kill 2 contenders, but not many people know Rebecca. So it won't really affect Rebecca that much. But I'm always excited for a Rebecca fight from now on. If he underperforms in his next fight, it'll be so sad for him. But yeah, this is the fight to make next. And Bobby Green. Now I was thinking Michael Johnson, but here's my reasoning why you should not make that fight. 1, he's just been knocked out. 2, he just had his arm broken, and I think not too long ago he was having his head bounced off the canvas by Jalen Turner. This cannot go well. So you can't give him a Michael Johnson. Come on. I know it's 2 OGs. It is a good fight. Let's be honest. It is a really good fight. But you can't give him Michael Johnson. And as well as that, Bobby Green is pretty much the gatekeeper of the top 15. He really is the gatekeeper of the top 15. We have so many top 15 who need to, like, fighters who need to fight to get into the top 15. You can't just wait there and be like, oh, well, I want Michael Johnson. Like, no. You can't be having Michael Johnson. There's too many like top contenders who need to get into the rankings, and you're like the fucking gatekeeper of the division. So Zayam, who fought on the Adesanya card, I believe, and he's really fucking good. He beat Mike Davis, who's no joke, and yeah, I think Zayam is gonna win. I mean, Zayam should be the fight, and he probably will win. But yeah. And the next fight is Joshua Van. Yeah, Joshua Van should fight either. Though I was going to put 2 fighters on here, but I couldn't be asked fitting them both on. But there's 2 fighters he should fight. A Tagir Alubekov or a Bruno Silva. I think Bruno Silva's a great option. And I thought he had a fight signed. I looked everywhere for this fight, and I can't find it. I've looked on the UFC website and everywhere else. But if he's not fighting anyone else, then we should get a Van versus Silva. Van deserves a top 15 opponent. I think he's already beaten one, but Van is a really good prospect, showed great takedown defense. So did Pereira, I forgot to mention that. He defended all fucking Dagestani's takedowns. But Van is a really good prospect in the division, and we should be pushing him in the division. If you really wanted, I think he would beat a Tagir Alubekov. I think he'd beat Bruno Silva, and that's how you get him into the division, by going, right, You're already ranked 15. We need to get you further and further into the rankings. That's a really great idea. And I think, how am I going to say it? I think Joshua Van can be in the top 7 of the division. But that's what I'll say. Top 5, it would be difficult, but I reckon he could do it. But top 7 is like a definite. Would he beat someone like a... You know what would be a really good fight? A Manel Kape versus Joshua Van. That would be a fucking mint fight. But, yeah, these are fights to make, so, yeah, that's all of it. So, Van should fight Silva and Alubekov, who'd fought on the 3-11 card. Green should fight Zayan because there's too many lightweight ranked who need to get into the rankings contenders. Ruffy should fight Rebecca because it would just be a fucking great bloodbath of a fight. Dawson versus Bamondes should happen just because Bamondes deserves a ranked opponent. So does Ruffy for that KO over Bobby Green. And Paddy fucking finished him and he got a fucking Michael Chandler. But Paddy's English, so he deserves it. Ruffy's not English, so he can fight Rebecca, and Rebecca's a really good prospect. Ruffy's a really good prospect, and they should fight each other. And then after this, either winner should fight someone. Because I'm telling you now, there's too many up and comers being like, I need to get into the top rankings. There's too many. We're gonna have to make them fight each other. There really is. Ziam is the only one who's gonna get a Bobby Green and an automatic into the rankings. Bamondes should fight Dawson. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. Would be a great fight on the feet, great fight on the ground. Yeah. Hooker Fiziev. Hooker's getting executed by Fiziev. Gaethje versus Poirier. No one argues with this. I swear everyone was like, this is what we need next. And I'm like, I agree. I definitely agree. And then we need Pereira versus Ankalaev too, because that fight was an absolute stinker. And I feel bad for Pereira and Ankalaev. You can't... As well, we can't disrespect Ankalaev, right? He did what he needed to do. It's annoying, it's horrible, but we've got to respect it for him, because Pereira didn't do much either. Neither of them did much. So what can you do? But yeah, that's the video. Like, subscribe. I make predictions every weekend, so there's a reason you should subscribe. And like the video because it helps it in the algorithm.